right, MMA Maniacs, it's time once again for another installment of Split Decision, your MMA podcast brought to you weekly from the Split Decision studios. Of course, we have the Ruloff brothers at the helm, taking care of all the business ends of this. Bueller and Dodge here to give you all the MMA news, quick recap of UFC 168, as well as anything else happening in the wide world of MMA. Special guest in the studio today from Team Voodoo, we have Gene. Welcome, Gene. This guy's got a lot of experience in the, especially the training of fighters in the world of MMA. And without further ado, well, a big thanks to Fight Fans Radio Network. Obviously, they're still supporting us, so we'll still support them. You can download us from Fight Fans Radio Network on Spreaker, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and their iTunes account. But more importantly than that, we have our own official SplitDecisionMMA.com website that you can go to, which I have to renew. To go panhandle for $27.
I thought it was like $35.
I don't even remember.
I think we got a rate hike. I think we need to negotiate.
We need to negotiate. Yeah, thanks, Obama.
Yeah, sure.
Thanks, A&E. All right, so what do we got happening in the news, man?
Well, obviously we had the big announcement that happened right before the fights was, surprise, surprise, their digital network. Woo! They held a whole press conference to talk about the digital network that's coming out.
I still don't understand the logistics of having a press conference while your fights are going on. Why are you detracting from...
It was actually our time. It started at 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
I got into it 10 minutes. I was like, when is it? Oh, 3. Oh, it's our time. And then there he was, Lorenzo, talking about his channel.
Yeah, basically it's online. It's $9.99 for the month, and you pay. It's a monthly fee. They're going to have 10 exclusive fights for that only. So the only way you can watch the fights actually coming up this weekend is going to be on this subscription network. Now, they're giving it a free trial until March. So if you want to watch this fight, go to UFC.tv/FightPass. And you can watch this.
Is this going to be available on like PlayStation or Xbox?
Not yet, which I think is stupid. That's one of the things I was going to talk about. It's not an app yet. You can't get it on your mobile device. You can't get it on your iPad. You can't get it on your Xbox.
So you can only watch it on a computer.
Only on your computer right now.
So if you
can't even do it on a smart TV. It has to be on the computer.
But if you get that Google thing,
the Chrome,
the flash drive,
the Chromecast,
then
you might be able to get it. Yeah,
okay.
That's good because my TV is dumb as fuck.
Got one of them dumb shit.
So what is cool though is that it's going to have. First of all, in the first, they have to upload everything. It's going to take them a long-ass time to upload. But they're saying that they're going to have the entire fight library from Pride, Strikeforce, WEC, Elite XC, WFA, and Affliction because the UFC bought the rights to all of them and putting them up on this so that you can watch any fight you want. You can just bring it up.
So when are you going into a fight coma?
I've already started checking it out a little bit.
Yeah. And
they have like lists, like Matt Hughes has his top lists. You know, he has to choose a lot of the older fighters.
So they're going to have older fighters do content on there and stuff like that.
Chael Sonnen has his own little mini channel of his top 10 fights. They're going to have like the best knockouts by year.
What are they going to do with Social Network?
I'm sure it'll be coming. The thing that does suck is you can't get this on your Xbox. You can't get this on anything but a computer right now. I think they may be working on it. I know it took them a while to get the Xbox app to work really well. And the only thing that I think really sucks too is right now it's by the fight. You can't order an entire card. You have to order it by the fight.
Per fight? On this, the monthly subscription?
On the monthly subscription. So you can look things up, but you can't look up an entire card. You have to look up. So if you want to watch the Gustafson card, you can watch Gustafson against John Jones.
I thought our government
Anything else was on it? Anything else is on it? You have to look it up by the fight, go look it up, put it on there, and then watch it.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's not like if you watch the Gustafson fight, there's not a link to other fights on that card?
I don't know. I've only played around with it for a couple minutes, so we'll see how that comes out. But right now, it's by the fight.
Only the last couple minutes, too, when I play with it. That happens.
So now that, obviously, Mr. Silva will now be fighting relatively soon, Roy Jones has decided he'll box Nick Diaz.
2 months tops.
2 months?
2 months. Hey,
they could put him in that Star Trek healer thing, right?
Yeah.
One of those.
So now Roy Jones Jr. wants to fight Nick Diaz in a boxing match instead.
Sure.
Straight up boxing?
Yeah.
That would be funny.
I'm down to watch that. I just want to watch Nick Diaz do something.
You can go watch him do his triathlon.
Go to his house.
No, I mean not just smoke weed.
Allegedly.
Some kind of competition.
So
I heard he's undefeated in that too. My kind of champ.
Clear a 3-foot bong in 12 seconds.
You go, boy.
Handle your shit, George.
So Vogler, even though he is 0-3, is now Dana White saying we don't cut guys like that after he took the Robbie Lawler fight on short notice. He did get busted up, but he's still going to have a UFC contract.
Oh, that's cool.
That's pretty nice.
He was fun to watch.
Okay.
I thought it was, that was the one online that I wanted to see, and it was fun to watch.
The Lesnar rumors are a big, basically publicity stunt by the WWE. They just signed him to another contract. He's now contract will not expire until April 2015.
And that's exclusive with the WWE?
Yep, exclusive with the WWE. Apparently there was rumors, and they kind of put it up into their storylines that, he's only in a 1-year deal, and he can fight, and be in the WWE. Like, they're trying to play that storyline up.
And be.
You know what I mean?
He couldn't fight in the first place.
Apparently just a big publicity
I wouldn't
stunt.
say that in front of him, but I'll tell you, a couple thousand miles apart.
I'd say it over the phone. From like
over the
away.
phone. That's
With a caller ID block. Basically, it's a publicity stunt because he made his reappearance on Monday Night Raw.
Okay.
So
Maybe the leg breaking scared him.
Well, as soon as we talked about it last week, I swear to God, I got home and it was popping up on every website.
yeah.
Even the porn websites I go to. I was like, wow, that's crazy.
Well, it's because there's a giant dick on his chest.
That's what it takes to win.
What kind of websites do you go to with guys with giant dicks on their chest, weirdo?
Did I come in the
That's
wrong
the crazy. That is the craziest triangle I've ever seen in my life.
And he's holding it.
So Ivan Menjivar will be fighting Hatsu Hayoki, the Ultimate Fighter China finale. It's going to be taking place March 1st.
Interesting.
I know you probably don't care about either of those fighters,
I like Ivan Menjivar.
but you don't like Hayoki. He's transplant. Tim Kenedy decided to go the route of Nelson and Cormier. They draw up his own paperwork.
Yeah, but they typed it. It was better when it was on binder.
Yeah, but his is funny. His is pretty funny because he did it himself, trying to get. Yeah, I know it's sideways. You got to turn your head. So he drew up this thing.
Does
and
nobody at mixedmartialarts.com know how to rotate a fucking picture? What kind of web monkeys do they have working over there?
Joey,
Are you kidding
just
me right now?
turn your head and cough.
So we have it says schedule.
Spells Michael Bisbane Michelle. That's pretty. Oh yeah, it's a joke.
It's from Tim Kenedy. So it says fighter means Tim Kennedy.
Michelle Bisbee.
Yeah. Unless he is injured, which he is likely, otherwise not available to compete, in which the substitute fighter may be selected by Zuffa. Bout date means any date he is actually mans up or such other date such as Zuffa may designate its sole discretion. Bout location means anywhere, but he'll probably want to only fight in the UK or an alternate location. It is his sole direct. Means middleweight, 185. Number of rounds. He wants 5-minute rounds to each. A decision.
Fight for the troops.
Yep. Tim Kenedy.
There you
Signed
go.
it.
Fight for the troops.
We have not heard from Bisbing yet whether or not he's said this yet. So, yeah, here we go. Now Twitter. I'm going to laugh so hard when I absolutely walk right through you. You dumb motherfucker. That's what Bisbing says.
That's what Bisbing said?
Yep.
I can't wait to see this fight happen.
Who has Bisbing walked right through?
Nobody.
The door.
Yeah.
He walks through the cage door every time.
Michael Johnson, who this fight I said you should probably get up and get a drink on, knocked out his opponent, UFC 168. I was expecting a boring match, but apparently Michael Johnson's got a renewed vigor in wanting to fight.
Somebody sent him
His hands a little bit.
Somebody sent him the podcast. He was like, "You hear this motherfucker? These motherfuckers!"
So now he wants to fight Nate Diaz. He's asking on Twitter to fight Nate Diaz.
Just get Nate Diaz to fight somebody, please.
Stay on your game.
What do you think?
Man. Don't fall into the trap.
Like I said, I just want to see Nate Diaz, or I want to say the Diaz brothers just fight. You know, just Nate just get him.
How do you think Diaz would do against Johnson?
He would. If the way Nate looked in his last fight, it would be interesting. The way
He
Johnson
looked
looked
really
in this
good.
fight and how Nate looked in his last fight.
Nate looked really good in that last
Those
fight.
two guys, I think they could put on one hell of a show.
Slug match.
Yeah.
Seeing Nick, if Nate Diaz, gets in a match where he's going to get put on his back again, that's where you got to worry about him. But damn, his last fight he did an amazing job, and if he obviously surprised us,
Yeah,
Johnson
for
did,
sure.
So could be a hell of a fight.
So Jason High was supposed to be fighting Benel Dararis on UFC Fight Night 35 going down on the 15th of this month. Unfortunately, he will be out of the fight because his appendix decided to explode on New Year's Day.
How old is he? That was shit that happened to kids during softball games.
So here he is in the hospital. He has appendicitis. Obviously, he will not be fighting.
Now I want to know if I have to worry about my appendix blowing up at some point.
Yes.
At some point.
Yes,
At
it
some
will.
point.
It's
So-
random, so I can be like 55 years old sitting on the toilet, my appendix blows up?
Yes.
Hey.
So, Charlie Brenneman has decided he has been offered a fight by the UFC on a 13-day notice. He will be returning to the UFC after going 4-4 in the UFC, and he will be fighting Benel Delrouche,
Well, okay.
filling in for
On
Mr.
13 days notice.
Day. 13 days notice.
So he will be 4-5 in the UFC very soon.
Really think it's going to be that bad?
What was he doing if he wasn't in the UFC? Was he fighting anywhere else?
He had fought in a couple of smaller organizations.
Like recently?
Recently.
Okay.
Yeah. Bobby Green is not going to be fighting at UFC 169.
Boo.
And the only reason is because he puts this on Twitter. I apologize, guys. This last fight is being rushed. I need to get checked. Something happened after the Krause fight. I pushed through and fought past. Now it seems to be bothering me even more. Straight up, I started shitting blood. So I went to the hospital after the Krause fight, and they did an ultrasound and sent me home. Something is up and needs to be checked. I have an appointment to have a scope rundown. Trust me, I'm on a roll. Why would I want to stop now? So he is obviously going to be withdrawing from that fight.
I would just like to point out the wording. Something happened after the last fight. I went ahead and pushed it through.
And then shitting blood. Pushed it through and shitting
Was there,
blood.
was there a lot of blood during that match? Yet neither one of them were cut?
No. So he was supposed to be fighting Abel Trujillo. Instead, Jamie Varner has stepped up to fight
You love Jamie
Trujillo.
Varner, Jamie.
I hope Trujillo knocks him out.
You love some Jamie Varner. Do you think Trujillo can actually knock out Jamie Varner?
Dude, he was doing pretty darn good
All right.
in his last fight. So we have... Oh, yeah, let's talk about this real quick. Den Thomas, 37. He's retired after 15 years as an MMA fighter. Notable wins, Clay Guida over Jens Pulver, Matt Sara, Mikey Burnett. He basically made this announcement after UFC 168. Basically, Anderson Silva's leg breaking has made Den Thomas retire.
His legs are even skinnier. That's
when was the last time Din was relevant anyway? So, I mean, cool.
He says, instead of pondering over the what ifs, should haves, and could haves, I appreciate and celebrate my time spent, devotion given, and influence I had on MMA. Obviously, he fought BJ Penn at UFC 32, first show the UFC ever had on pay-per-view. He fought at UFC 33 as the first fight in Las Vegas for the UFC.
Yeah, I mean, he was one of the pioneers of the sport for sure. But it's like
he says the only golden age person left is Robbie Lawler. Josh Barnett just lost. Anderson Silva just lost.
Josh Barnett, ugly.
the only guy left. What does he mean left? That's winning?
That's currently relevant.
In there.
Well, I guess
Liddell's gone.
Nick Diaz would still be.
Nick
Diaz knocked out Robbie Lawler.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying. But from Robbie Lawler, obviously was fighting a lot longer than Nick Diaz.
Yeah.
He's saying from his era, early UFC's like in the 30s. You know what I mean? UFC 31, 32.
1930?
Yeah, 1930. When UFC started.
I mean,
I remember that one.
he just fought like this.
It was all in there, and just the
Knuckles
wagons and the horses and things.
Band-Aids? You mean
Fighting in the dirt.
bitch stickers?
So, Den Thomas retires.
Okay.
All right.
Moving on.
Okay, we can move on.
All right. So, Lorenzo's come out and said that the Weidman-Belfort fight will be in Vegas. Now, remember, Vitor Belfort has not fought in the United States since 2011. He fought 3 times last year in Brazil, but he has not fought in Vegas since 2011. Everyone said it's because of his TRT. They're saying this fight will happen in Las Vegas.
What does Belfort say about that?
Belfort doesn't matter. He thinks the belt's his anyway.
I'll be surprised to see it happen.
I'll say, what's the over-under on it actually happening in Vegas?
If it does happen in Vegas, I mean, it doesn't matter.
Can we bet on those odds? They got to be somewhere, right?
It's going to be a no contest if Belfort wins.
So if they're trying to get the exemption for the TRT, then they already know that his testosterone level is going to be high.
Yeah, well, he has exemption in Brazil. He had exemption when he fought. Anytime they've tried to get him elsewhere, but it's only in Las Vegas because he got busted for actual steroids in Las Vegas back in 2011.
Right.
This is why
That's right.
they will not allow him TRT exemption.
If you had the exemption first and you showed up, that's okay.
Yeah.
But if you get busted,
so like they could have this fight in California and he could fight because he can get if he gets TRT exemption, which they would possibly give him.
I would almost put money on.
There was a couple other places they tried to get him to go fight and they said no problem. But Vegas, the athletic commission strictly said we will not give him TRT exemption.
bring it back to
So what's going to
Sacramento.
happen then when they decide to start giving people marijuana exemptions? Does Nick Diaz never get the marijuana exemption because he's been busted for it too many times?
He's the poster boy.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just saying. He can fight in Denver all the time then.
In Washington.
For free.
No, bro, I only used it recreationally.
I didn't do it when I was fighting.
Kung Lee has decided to come back. He has 3 fights left on his contract with the UFC. He's been over actually helping out with the Ultimate Fighter China as a mentor/coach. He says he wants to fight either Michael Bisping or Vanderlei Silva as his first fight back.
Bisping.
But I want to see Bisping get beat up by Tim Kenedy first.
Then he can get beat up by Kung Lee after that.
Perfect. I'm ready for that.
That's fine.
He says, I'm going to come back and throw my spinning wheel kicks, spinning back kicks. We're going to get him back again.
He's fun to watch. He's really fun to watch.
Extremely fun to watch.
Watching his nose get splattered, kind of change him as a fighter.
I think after Juan beats the shit out of Shale, he's just going to retire.
Juan?
Yeah.
Think he's out?
Yeah.
I don't think Wanda will ever quit fighting.
Really?
I think Dana's going to make him retire.
So then let's get into obviously the big thing that happened. UFC 168, Weidman versus Silva. We have a bunch of little news based around that that we can kind of tie in. So it's starting off the card, you have Robert Peralta defeating Estevan Payan and KO.
12 seconds into the third round.
Nice.
Way to go, Robbie.
William Macaro defeated Bobby Voeckler. Voeckler obviously is not getting cut by the UFC like we said earlier.
Yeah.
That gash was ruthless. Yeah. I mean, it was pumping blood. They cleaned him up, and then before the next round even started, it was just running down his face.
John Howard defeated Sahara Badazahara. I was actually pretty surprised by John Howard's performance in this.
I thought John Howard looked good. And even the next fight, too, like Dennis Siver.
Dennis Siver looked really good against Manvel Gambierian. Gambierian didn't seem to have much of anything to come.
I know. Doesn't that scoring look close?
Yeah, pretty darn close. All 29-28s. Then, of course, Michael Johnson defeated Gleason Tibau. Knockout in the second round at a minute 32.
Will you explain to me what happened on this one?
Uriah Hall defeats Chris Lieben. TKO corner stoppage.
Lieben stopped.
Basically what happened is Chris Lieben went back to his corner in between rounds and asked, did I get knocked out? Because I don't remember the rest of the round.
And the ref stopped it when he heard that.
Well, no, he turned to his corner and said, you know what, I'm done.
Well, I thought the ref heard it, because if the ref hears that, he's got to...
He did. Well, the ref, they came to the ref and he goes, did I get knocked out? And they're like, no. And he's like, I don't remember the rest of the round. He's like, I'm done. He's like, if this is what's happened and I don't remember, I'm done.
That was smart.
Intelligent on his part.
Very intelligent.
And I'm pretty sure Chris Lieben might be done altogether, just because of so many... I mean, you can only do so much.
He's taking a beating, that guy.
He has no problem standing and punching, like the old school gunslingers, but that takes a toll on your head.
Yeah.
Uriah Hall actually did look good. Chris Lieben
looked really good.
Didn't really have an answer for him at all that
No.
first round. So, because Uriah Hall maybe he found something.
In between commercials, basically, this is what he had said. They come back and they just said it was a doctor stop. Due to the advice of the doctor, well, what happened was he had sat down. If you watched... When they replayed it on pay-per-view, you could hear the inside corner, and he basically just quit. He said, he doesn't know if he got knocked out, and he doesn't want to continue if he doesn't know if he got knocked out or not.
And what I really liked, and you'd pointed out, and I didn't see it until I went back and watched, is that the referee went over to Hall and said, look, that was my bad.
Yeah.
I should have called it when he got knocked out towards the end of the round.
Yeah.
So. Wow. That's interesting. I didn't know that either.
Dustin Poirier defeating Diego Brandao. TKO punches. Great 5-minute fight. Well, excuse me, 4-minute, 54 seconds. Both these guys going back and
forth.
That
was inevitable.
It was a pretty good fight. Dustin Poirier taking the win at a catch weight.
So did we actually pay attention to how Don Fry did on his picks?
Because
he picked Brandao in this fight.
Yeah, he picked Brandao. He picked Jim Miller. Jim Miller won
by submission. Got the
armbar. And dude, and again, like I said, Camoes didn't look like he had anything for Jim Miller at all. No. Anything. And then Travis Brown knocking out Josh Barnett with elbows.
This was sad.
Good night, Irie.
Those elbows.
This is the second time he's knocked somebody out with those elbows.
Those elbows look so questionable too.
They're to the side.
Yeah, I know. But
when
he's doing it, the angle they had him on, coming from this side, it looked like he was just coming straight down.
Oh no! Did you hear his explanation? He goes, "You know me, knee, ear, 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 ear."
Well, as long as you stay on that ear, you're safe.
Poor Josh Brown. A minute in, man, he just went for that shoot and just got...
Josh needs to start thinking about what he's doing.
With his career?
Yeah, definitely. He can do a lot of marketing,
He's one of the faces for Pride, for sure. He might not be a big face for the UFC, but for people who are old school fans and watched it when it was in his dark days and when Pride was huge, he can do a lot for that.
And maybe he can go over to Japan and help get actually the market picked up for the UFC and be an ambassador over there.
Way better, too.
You know what I mean? Because they love him over there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So, and then of course we had our women's bantamweight title fight. Ronda Rousey going up against Miesha Tate.
Kick the table, man.
Miesha Tate only being able to take Ronda Rousey into the third round, or do you think Ronda Rousey took Miesha into the third round?
That seems to be the popular.
That seems to be the debate. Is that Miesha Tate didn't really push Ronda as much as Ronda pushed Miesha.
I didn't like that. I didn't like the ending of it. Beyond it, from a coach's perspective,
it really looked like she was done. She's like, I beat you up enough that I'm getting a little bit tired now.
The arm like this, and then she calls it, and it's not even locked out.
The minute she got into it, Miesha Tate
she
quit.
knew. She knew where it was going.
That's my thing. Like Miesha just knew. Like
she was broken. She was broken.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. After that first round.
But she did get a hold of Rousey's face, though.
Yeah. She got her a couple times. But Miesha looked a lot worse the next day.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, here's the thing, and I got in this discussion online too. Okay, so Misha only landed 28 strikes, but 24 of them were considered significant strikes.
Right.
Whereas Ronda Rousey landed something like 130 strikes, but only 40 of those were considered significant. Now, granted, that's 40 more significant
Right.
strikes, but percentage-wise, it's not good.
Right.
Which is why I feel that Ronda Rousey's stand-up isn't great. But
What
when she
about-
got her on the ground,
Different, of course.
way different.
Not only that, but
Yeah.
her judo was so well timed.
Oh,
yeah.
It proved why
the
she's an
throws
Olympian.
Drops were just
The minute she gets there, drop on the ground.
Yeah.
Drop on the ground.
Where we were, every time she planted the foot, everybody like, here she goes.
Boom. Take her for a ride.
I no longer want to fight Ronda Rousey.
So the big thing to come out of this is immediately now we have Sara McMann, former wrestling Olympian, is going to fight Ronda Rousey at UFC 170 in 2 months.
Yeah.
That might
2
be
months.
interesting. 2 months.
Now,
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 months.
What's McMahon's background?
She is a
I know it's wrestling, but I mean as far as anything.
Olympic wrestler. She medaled in the Olympics.
But she didn't have any backside judo or anything, or she just
Not that I'm aware of. No.
She's currently 6-0 though in mixed martial arts.
Yes.
Right?
now do you
Oh,
know
she
the,
is.
the,
Okay, so
yeah,
she's
she's
rated.
6-0.
All right.
the
Yes,
reason
I'd like to
behind
see
some
that.
people are saying the reason behind them pushing Rousey so fast is she does this thing in cycles. I guess she does things in 4-year cycles.
Don't all girls do things?
Well, yeah.
I thought that was monthly.
But apparently, this fighting thing, she wanted to get it done in 3 or 4 years, and she's coming up on, I guess, the 3rd year. So like they're figuring she's got 1 year left in whatever this cycle of fighting that she's
And that's
doing.
it for her?
Apparently, yeah.
She's going to be an ice skater next
I don't know.
year?
Yeah, I don't know.
There's I think there's quite
No,
a bit of
I'll
opponents
follow
left.
that lead.
I know Kat Zingano was supposed to get the next shot. She has a torn ACL right now, so that's why she's
That's
not.
the
Even
one
though
I
she
wanted
still
to see.
says, Kat Zingano said she still was like, I'll still fight her. They're like, you have a torn ACL.
She said, "I don't want to lose my shot."
yeah, I don't want to lose my shot.
I don't think she'll lose her shot.
But
She'll
the
still
other-
have a title shot.
The other end of it is like the Carano thing. They're saying that she is a natural in front of the camera, and I mean, instead of getting your ass beat or your face smashed up, if you can make millions in the film, just like Carano.
Yeah, but I think Carano was out of the fight game before. I mean, you could tell she was starting to kind of wane. She got in front of the camera and she liked that a lot better, being a stunt person or being that sort of thing. Where Ronda
I'm
is
sure
a
Dad keyed her
competitor.
in on the marketing.
I don't think she's gonna leave to go do movies. I think she wants to compete and become the best of everything. You know what I mean? That's what she says she wants to do.
time will tell.
We'll see what happens with with Ronda Rousey. I mean, there's still a lot of girls I think that are out there for her to face.
As long as they can get in there before she quits.
Dude, Cyborg wants her bad.
Yeah, Cyborg started tweeting immediately, "I'm coming for you, sweetheart. You can't even get down to 135 pounds." Not only that, but Tito Ortiz is your manager.
When your muscles are bigger than your husband's, that ain't working, baby. Come on now.
It would be awesome if Cyborg could get down to that weight.
I'd
and
love
actually
to see
come and
that.
fight.
Her straight up without juice, man. I'd love to see that.
Yeah.
Especially if it went to the ground, then
Yeah,
I think it'd honestly be a different story. There's where Rousey, I think, would try to keep it standing up.
That's a good money fight.
And I really like so watching the fight. I'm watching. I'm like, Ronda's beating her up, take her down. And it's like it literally. She came out of that third. And I'm like, she's done.
Yeah.
She's ready to finish now. I mean, she rushed across that cage, pushed her up against the fence, and started taking her down and getting the arm.
It was a monster performance by Ronda Rousey, especially now knowing what she does, how she can do after the first round.
Yeah.
You know, so
Way to
for
go,
her.
Cupcake.
Way to go, Cupcake. And then, of course, we had our...
Well, if Cupcake's not doing anything. Just saying.
Well, she is. She's doing Brian Caraway.
Damn it.
Doing somebody.
Chris Weidman defeats Anderson Silva, TKO via leg injury. We got to see Anderson Silva go all Corey Hill and become the rubber man.
Dude.
They can't say he won by a check kick.
No.
Check kick blocked.
He went to throw the low kick. Yeah, in my opinion, he was getting defeated in the first round.
He was.
Anderson Silva lost the first round
He
as
was
well.
out for a split second in the first round.
Yeah. He hit him. He got dropped hard.
Yeah.
Have you seen the people said it looked a lot more even in the second? I was like, we only got a minute. of the
But he
second
did.
round.
But in actuality,
He did start throwing
like you say,
kicks.
in the second round, he looked like he was like, okay, I got to stop fucking around here and
That's
get
exactly
my shit
what it
together.
looked like. That's kind of what I thought,
And
too.
that was probably his mistake.
And he started throwing those hard low kicks that he's known for throwing, and he ended up snapping his leg in two. He was rushed immediately to surgery after this.
More the reason to come to Team Voodoo in Modesto to train, just like that guy.
Now these guys,
1227th Street.
after the fights, these guys get X-rayed and stuff, right?
He
So-
immediately went to the
have to.
hospital to have surgery.
No, but I'm just saying,
Yes.
is this something that they could he have came into the fight with a hairline fracture?
That is possible, but even though you go through a physical, before a fight, and they have their doctors, and their doctors at UFC are really on it. Those
Yeah, I would
guys
think
are
that they
really
would have
on it.
already found this, and
Good
especially after doing
possibility.
the surgery, man. Like, oh, we already saw stress, or oh, we already saw,
If they're
something.
doing MRIs or X-rays over there, if he's never had any problem, there's really no reason to look at that.
there,
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? So anything's possible.
Maybe that's something they need to start checking.
Well, no, this is what you need to start kicking banana trees for. That's how it works.
So he is back on his feet. You can see him here with his cast. We'll put that
He's
picture up
back
in a
on
little
his
while.
crutches. He ain't on his feet.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. That's funny. It's back on his feet, and he's so happy. I'm like, he's leaning against his countertop.
That one crutch looks bent. It looks like
And
he's going back
he's
down.
basically looks like he's putting his weight on his wife and his crutches at the same time. Like,
And he's struggling to smile because he hurts, or he's just high on Oxycontin.
yeah.
No, that's a pain. That's a pain. No matter how much drugs you take, you still feel it.
Oh, with a break like that.
Well, I'm just like the rod that goes through his leg, like Dodge was explaining earlier.
Yeah, they drilled
Did
from the top.
they run the screws when they ran
Yeah,
the rod? Too?
two. One at the top, one at the bottom.
I broke my thumb once. I hurt like a son of a bitch.
So then the other big mystery that happened at UFC 168, this was during the John Howard Sahir Badazahara fight. We have a little bit of audio. Let's see if it'll play. They might have taken it down. One more
All
time.
right, I'll admit it in public. It was me.
One more time.
It's so awesome.
You barely hear it. They ridicule the poor guy. I mean, what if
I
he
don't know,
really
I was-
ran?
That's
Yeah.
pretty loud, man.
Pretty loud when I was in my living room. I was like, did somebody just fart?
What if he would have stayed? Then it would have been more embarrassing.
Apparently, it was cameraman
What
number
the hell
five,
she
number
doing?
4.
Is that his girlfriend?
I can honestly say that
If he can do it, I can do it,
I've
too.
never seen a woman light her fart on fire.
There you
I've
go.
never seen that in my. Oh, she got jeans touched.
I don't think you have yet either. That's not a woman.
So Dana White immediately tweeted, "Oh my effing G, fart of the night will surely go to cameraman number 4." But the night is young.
I want to see that check.
Oh, Jesus. Fart of the night.
I like that it got picked up by a
$75,000.
microphone.
Oh, it's awesome.
Well,
I'm sure people are farting all the time when they're
everywhere.
working, but you don't expect to be that close to like one of the boom mics. It's a real boom mic right there.
Funny.
So overall, what did you think of the event?
I thought it
Biggest
was
pay
good.
per view of the year?
I had to watch.
Yeah,
most of
they're
it
saying it did.
Yeah,
Total
probably
gate was
because of that
6.2
break and the
million.
Rousey fight
Whoa.
and being in there, and the couple of good ones they have. Yeah, I'd say that's a good way to end out the year.
If you look at the main card, you got a TKO, you got submissions, you got a knockout, you got another submission, and then you got the leg break, which is the leg break heard in history. It sounded like two pieces of wood getting slapped together in a empty gym or something. It was loud. Made me jump out of my seat, man. It's crazy.
What'd they say it was like $6 million in purses given out?
It doesn't look like it's that much.
Were they-
I don't know,
were
you-
they
But
coached?
those are just the mains.
Those are the mains.
Were they coached?
No, this is everybody's payday.
Oh, yeah?
That's everybody's payday right there.
Oh.
I mean, Anderson Silva walked away with 1.6.
Oh shoot! Well, the reason Chris
Wow.
got his money
Because he gets
was
shared
win
the
last
pay-per-view,
time.
right?
Last time he was
He gets
getting
shared
what,
the
like
pay-per-view in
30
his
grand?
contract. And Weidman gets his $400,000 with a $200,000 win bonus. Good for him. So who got the other night bonuses? There we go. Fight of the night: Ronda Rousey and Misha Tate. Good call. Knockout of the night: Travis Brown. How could
I mean,
you
it has
not?
to.
Of course.
How could you not?
You can't beat that. 'cause
Submission
they
of the
both
night went
get
to
it.
Ronda Rousey. Now, a lot of people are clamoring that Jim Miller should have got this.
I don't think Ronda Rousey should have got.
Yeah, I think
Jim
Miller.
Miller
Because that's a
Yeah,
standard
taking
takedown for her.
But the other thing is too is that they were saying, okay, obviously when they were getting up, Misha offered her hand to help up Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey turned her down and walked away from it.
Right.
People said it was bad sportsmanship. That it was
Well, they just legitimately don't like each other.
And that's
so-
the thing is, and what's funny is someone put up an article that I read. It was really interesting where, saying that she's being chastised for not liking Misha Tate and not getting the handshake, flipping her off when she can. But yet, when we were seeing Nick Diaz do it, or even Nate Diaz in the
different.
middle,
He's a man.
yeah, against those two, when he has him in the triangle, when he had Josh Neal in the triangle and he flipped double bird, the crowd went crazy.
Right.
When Nick Diaz did it in front of Frank Shamrock in Strikeforce when he flipped him off at the
Right.
weigh-ins. People went crazy.
Because-
but the minute that Ronda Rousey flips her off, everyone's, boo! I can't believe you're doing that. You're a bitch.
No.
What's the difference? Where do you draw the line? The
People
guy's
still
allowed to
think-
do it,
people,
but
no, people still
You know
think
what I
that Nick and Nate are assholes. There's plenty of people that don't like them because of their attitudes. I've heard plenty.
I
plenty of
have
people-
to. A lot of people, they want him to lose just because they're always, they're disrespectful and all that sort of thing. But again, you hear more people cheering during those times than you did during Ronda's. I just found it real interesting that it to me it sounded like a pretty split crowd, cheering and booing for her.
I like what she said about she was glad to hear cheers because
she's like, I'm
she's like the whole time you said the whole time she was at judo.
Yep.
Everywhere she went, she was booed
She's
because
like,
she
I've
was
been
the
booed in
American.
32 different countries.
Yeah.
She's like, because every time I go over there, I was the American, and I'm not
Right.
supposed to beat their, beat their champion, and I did.
What's a boo like in France? Ooh la la boo.
It's like this.
Isn't it a
Boo,
cheer?
and then they run. They surrender.
They say
for
boo to everything. Isn't it the same thing as a yay? Like,
It's either that or I surrender.
I surrender. I give up.
Right.
No, I'm with. I don't.
Our
think
flag
she
is
should've got
red,
the-
white,
she got
blue
the fight
because it's
tonight.
the easiest thing to
I don't
deal
think she
with.
should have got submission.
No, like what Gene was saying, it wasn't even a real submission. It was just Misha Tate going, "Okay, you got me.
I give
I'm
up.
out."
I give up. Please don't break it again. Please
Exactly.
don't break it again.
Yeah.
I think
Because
that's what it really came down to.
How come she
Please
didn't
don't
give up
break it.
earlier? If she was just going to give up, how come she didn't give up earlier when she had her arm?
And
She's
deal
able to
with the
roll?
ridicule of, why didn't you finish? I mean, there's probably so much more behind those scenes for not finishing out a fight than we even see of chastisation, and just getting on them.
I think it had a lot to do with just the fight got taken out of Misha Tate in the second round.
Yeah, definitely.
It's more than anything else because she felt confidence getting out of that first armbar.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But then when she just got the fight sucked out of her because she had no answer anywhere. So then by the time she gets into another armbar at the very beginning of the round,
damn it
again! Yeah, I don't
I'm
want
done.
to fight that for
I'm
40 seconds. There's no way.
And what I want to ask is, in this sport, should we be watching for the sportsmanship like you would in any other discipline, or is this totally different because this is like a combatant thing?
Right, like the whole touch gloves things. Like, there's guys that say, "Why do they touch gloves at the beginning of every freaking round?"
Hey,
they
I'll be
ask
honest
you.
with you.
They
I'll be
ask
honest
you.
with you. I
You
believe
want
in
to touch gloves now? Touch
That's
gloves.
right. You
That's
don't
it.
have
That's the
to.
last time you have touch gloves.
I like the sportsmanship attitude, which is all cool, but sportsmanship is at a distance. When you step in that cage,
It's time to fight.
it's time for that mind to click into gear, and it's
we
like
turn into
I
some-
never agreed to rounds and minutes anyways. I believe from start to finish. I always
Right.
have. It's just it. But yeah, you shouldn't ridicule them, but yet it works both ways because I think now in society we're looking for more of a morality.
Yeah, but I don't
thing
want to see
because
the
it's so vicious.
5-minute hug fest either.
No,
Every
no,
time
no,
the
no.
guy gets a good
Well,
kick,
that's
oh,
like
good
you get
job,
guys.
buddy, high five, give me a hug,
you
okay,
get guys
let's
who like
back up
throw a
and
nice
fight.
5-6 combination. They're going, yeah, bro.
Yeah, what are you doing? Keep fighting.
Yeah, you just punched me in the face 7 times. Really good. Hey, good job.
But I've seen things though
I don't get
too
that.
where they do throw a nice combination to somebody else. And they'll acknowledge it. They'll kind of smile and nod.
Yeah.
And that makes me laugh.
That's okay.
But coming up, the hug fest
And the
stuff.
hugs and the constant glove taps.
Little
It's like,
reach
come
around
on, man.
and shit. What's up?
Tickle the tank. Tickle
After
the
the
tank.
fight.
All right, wraps it up.
No, we got moving on.
This is right. The official fight card that we don't get to see because we don't subscribe to the UFC.
You
subscription
can. It's
service.
free. Sign
No,
up now,
because
get
then I'm
your-
going to forget to cancel, and then I'm going to get the reoccurring bill.
And then I'm showing up to your house to watch it. Joey, why? I'm just sitting in your front lawn with my laptop logged into your
Hijacked
account.
onto my-
Hijacked.
All those guys.
Wi-Fi. So coming up tomorrow night, this is going down. Where's it happening at?
This is going to be down in Singapore.
Singapore. Got it. Okay, a bunch of names that we can't pronounce. Leandro Issa going up against Russell Duane.
Would they import all
Dustin
these guys?
Kimura and John De Los Reyes. Says there are a lot of guys that don't even have a big history on Wikipedia, apparently. Merbek Tasumov and Tae-Hun Bang and Royston Wee.
Say that name again.
I don't want to get you excited. Tae-Hun Bang.
Dated someone with that name.
Royston
I think
Wee
it
and
was Davey
Dave
Bang.
Galera. And then Katsunori
His sister.
Kikuno and Quinn Mulhern, Max Holloway and Will Cope. That is your preliminary card if you have the Fight Pass. Your main card, if you have the Fight Pass, once again, you can sign up for the free trial, like Dodge said, and you can actually watch this, test it out, see if you enjoy it. Kung Ho Kang is going up against Shushinchi Shimizu, or whatever.
Yep.
And then Kichi Kunamoto is going up against Luis Dutra. And Tetsuya Kiwajiri.
They
up
finally
against
signed
Sean-
Kawajiri. I'm super happy about
Yeah,
that.
Sean Soriano. I was going to say, is there anybody you want to talk about?
Yeah, Kawajiri would be the one, the crusher, man. This guy, he's well known in the Japanese market. He fought in Pride, he
time.
fought in Dream, he fought in
Okay.
I saw him
Rings.
fight in Japan in Pride when I was over there watching.
He
K1
is pretty
He's been
darn
fighting for a long time. Then,
awesome. Yeah.
So he's a kickboxer?
no, he's
I
a
saw him fight because we would stay over and watch the Pride
okay.
fights.
yeah. He fought. He is currently 32-7.
That's all.
I am excited that he is in the UFC. I'm a little worried that they waited this long to sign him. He is
Really?
now 35.
Exactly.
Kind of later in his career.
Wow, yeah.
Should have
We'll
signed
see
him
how
5
well he
years
does,
ago.
but I think he's going to be big for that market in the Asian market. And being
That's a
used lot
teen.
then.
In the Asian market, he's a teen.
Well, that's why I think because they're picking like this to do this because then you've got your big call in Japan. You don't have to worry.
Well,
about the
that
American
was,
games.
and again, in the press conference with Lorenzo, that was the big thing about this
They
fight
want this to
pass.
be international.
They want to be able to put primetime fights in every market.
Yes.
He's all because like we got to Abu Dhabi. He's like in all reality, we're not going to get back to Abu Dhabi
In a long time.
in 3 to 4 years.
Yeah.
He goes, so basically we gave him the taste. and then we can't satisfy it.
Yeah.
He's like, this is the only way.
They built an arena.
Yeah.
Okay? Abu Dhabi built an arena for them to have that pay-per-view and tore it down a month later.
Man, just Abu
Did
Dhabi.
they really tore it down?
Yeah.
They gave the pieces to the poor for souvenirs.
Abu Dhabi has bring snow to Las Vegas money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They have the George St. Pierre fuck you money.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for the money that it cost them to build that and tear it down, they're like spit on.
Why did they tear it down?
Because
They can.
I don't know.
It was
Put-
taking up
let's probably
space.
put a
We only
water
like
park
people
there.
to fight the new stuff.
Ice skating rink, right? Yeah.
So Tariq Safardine will not be fighting Jake Ellenberger, as originally we had talked about. Jake Ellenberger got pulled. Hung-Gu Lim will be taking his place, and that will be your main event. Tariq Safardine going up against Hung-Gu Lim.
Well, I
What's
guess
In welterweight.
What's Lim's record?
Lim is currently, let's see.
Anderson Silva's limb is 0-1.
Wow.
Already with the jokes.
I like it. He is 12-3.
Somebody ought to get his right leg some insight or
So
something.
Lim is 12. Lim is 12-3. Tariq Safardine is 14-3.
There you
Tariq
go.
Safardine,
That's pretty
former Strikeforce champion.
Right.
Lim, this is going to be his biggest opponent, in my opinion, for sure. Obviously, he's got
riding
wins.
7 fights into this one.
Riding 7
Good for him.
fights. And he was former Pacific Extreme Combat champion.
Not only is he riding 7 fight wins into this fight, he has stopped every single one of those. He's got mostly TKOs. He's got 4 TKOs, a guillotine choke submission, and then 2 KOs.
Yes.
So this guy is definitely going to be something to look out for on the feet. And, Tariq Safardine, he's not slouched on his feet either.
No.
So this could be a lot of fun to watch. This could be a good match. Hopefully Tariq Safardine doesn't lose to a late replacement, but who knows? Time will tell.
Yeah, Tariq Safardine's last loss was against Tyron Woodley. So
And he beat Scott Smith by decision, Tyler Stinson by decision. He's got a lot of decisions. He's going to
defeated Nate Marquardt for the title, where he just leg kicked the crap out of Nate Marquardt.
Yeah,
He could be in trouble here if he's not prepared for this guy.
Yeah.
Late replacements can do that to you. If you don't have enough time to watch tape on him and get prepared,
You watch one fight and you think, oh, yeah, I got this down.
that's a big problem. That happens too.
Yeah, you got to look at everything.
Have we heard anything else about Holly?
Holly Holm, she's still fighting a bunch of cans in Legacy Fighting Championship.
Now she come from boxing, right?
Yes.
Now I was listening to another show and they were talking about that they believe that women's boxing is a joke.
There's not many big names in women's boxing. Like
But I mean,
there is.
still,
Leila Ali is retired.
Can we use a different name for women's MMA instead of cans? Can we use cups?
Yeah, I think she's padding her record so that
Halibuts.
she can come over and get a fat payday from the UFC because her the people she's fighting over in Legacy to me are a joke.
She's not even fighting Invicta. That's weird.
No.
Okay. All right, so that's tomorrow night. If you want to get the subscription to UFC, you got a free trial until March. You might as well sign up for it and enjoy. That wraps it up for us. Big thanks to Gene from Team Voodoo for showing up. Thanks, man.
Love being here. Thank you for having me.
And this is first show from the Split Decision Studios here in the new year. Big thanks to the Ruloff brothers for taking care of us. It's Bueller and Dodge signing off once again. Have a good night, and we'll see you at the fights.